Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
All right, SBTV Nation, your boys are in the house finally. Because it's not just a job here, it's an adventure.
It sure is. Dream, good morning to you, brother.
I'm in the house with my boy, the Mad Hatter Gang. I'm the Dream, in case you don't know who I am, which most of you definitely do. The biggest mouth around.
Dream,
Coming on what are we on, a Thursday here?
How about
as you like to refer to it, is Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. How about them Cowboys, Dream?
How about this? You did not start the morning
Just wanted
with that.
to go into that. Good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation. We are live right now and having a hell of a good time. And I see a lot of notes here, Dream, and I know you want to dive right into the sports, Playboy.
Well, we got a ton of things going on in the sporting world. Before we get in the sporting world, I just want to ask you, did you see the Bill Clinton looking at Ivanka Trump video?
No.
Oh, my God, son.
Really?
Son, it's the classic. Fellas, I know you're going to, if you got girls or women, ladies, whatever, you're going to know what I'm talking about. You know how you were at the mall and just something ridiculous just did by,
Yep.
and you unfortunately had no choice. Just your guy instinct kicked in. You turned your head a full 360 and looked, and when you turned back to the side, your wife or significant other was ice grilling you because she knows what you were doing.
Really?
Bill Clinton gets so busted. Just go to YouTube and hit Bill Clinton, Ivanka Trump, and it'll come up. You'll see it. Dude, so busted.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen it, just go on YouTube. Somebody maybe will probably tweet it out now that I mentioned it. It's hilarious.
If anybody's got a GIF of it, too, please send it to me on Twitter.
run him the gift or tweet the link for him so he can check it out, gang. Anyway, I just thought, as soon as I saw it, I thought about you knowing your support for our new president.
Well,
anyway,
you know what? Hey, I had a really, really nice time watching the interview with him last night, Dream.
I'm glad you watched the interview with him because it's just, dude. I'm sorry. It's like talking to. I don't even know what it's like talking to him because, you hear him talk, and I struggle with one. Like, I know he's an intelligent guy.
Yes.
It doesn't come across intelligent.
Are you serious? Really? You really think so, huh?
It does not come across intelligent. I know he's wealthy. It does not come off across as wealthy. It just comes off across as like, I don't know. It's a rough presentation. It's not polished. And I mean, some people, I guess, like that. For me, though, the president of the United States, like if he was like, I don't know, a governor, I'd be okay with it. Mayor, good. But the president of the United States with, okay, it's going to be huge. We're going to fix it. Okay. We got it. Okay. Yeah. This is what I want you to know. I've been working on the deal and we're going to fix it.
I haven't seen a president in my lifetime that has done this much work in 5 days.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's done a lot of work in 5 days. Basically, he's cluttered up the government for 5 days right now and put everything on his standstill while he has his little temper tantrum and tries to get rid of the Obama stuff and try to implement his stuff. Everything right now is at a standstill.
Well, let me
People are
ask
walking
you,
on eggshells.
One thing that I'm very, very interested in, and I know, guys, we're going to get into the sports in 1 second, but Dream, my health insurance is almost $1,000 a month right now because of Obamacare.
No, it's
stupid.
Get out.
It's stupid.
Stop.
Dude, $1,000 a month. What? That's ridiculous. Why? kid. If you had to pay a G note a month for health insurance, I think you'd have a problem too, Dream.
I don't have Obamacare, player.
Yeah, I know. You got the luxury of having a job where you're all set, but I'm just
I don't
saying.
have Obamacare.
Well,
that's not my fault, all right?
All right, but I'm just saying that makes my skin crawl, that I pay almost a G note a month for that.
Oh, stop crying. Your skin didn't crawl when you hit Obamacare up for your leg injury that probably cost close to $8,000, though. Okay, thank you. Can we move on now with the sports? I'm sure you're good now with that.
Not under this plan, player.
Anyway, like I just did calling out, a lot of calling out has been going, and especially in the wide world of Cleveland.
Yes, and I love this.
Oh, I know you love it, but
this. I love when Cleveland has a little bit of losses, a little bit of controversy, because you know what happens when that happens, Dre.
I know what happens, but this is kind of a little bit different, though. And, LeBron's having a little bit of a temper tantrum okay, here's my thing, right? All right, this is what happens when you party with the boys a lot. Okay, some athletes, and they used to talk about this about Michael Jordan a lot. Michael Jordan could sit down with you and go with you, I don't know, to the Cadillac Ranch. You know what I'm saying? But then he would check out at 1 o'clock. You're still there till 4 in the morning, but he'd check out at 1 o'clock and then be ready to wear you out the next day. The other guys would check out 15 minutes before the game and then show up and just be exhausted and not want to play hoop. Some athletes are able to turn it on and turn it off when need be. Because for the most part, some are just gifted athletically more than the other ones, which I think LeBron James is. But the other members on this team are not as athletically gifted. So by LeBron, I liked what he did off season with the partying and the camaraderie and getting everybody together, but it looks like there's a hangover that's now coming to this season because the other guys around him, while he's doing his thing and trying to get it done, the other guys around him are not living up to fruition.
Well, it's the same thing as if you're a boss and you're out, partying with your employees and the people that are under you. It's the same type of thing because then, it's almost like you have that, you don't have the balance, you don't have the, I'm the authority and you're under me. You know what I'm saying? It's not that LeBron is the boss, but he's definitely the captain of the team. So there has to be that level of respect, and they have to basically balance that. And I think it's going to be just fine. Dream, we've seen this 100 times over the course of the LeBron James career. We've seen this where they go through these skids and everybody's talking, everybody's doing this, doing that. They even had a magazine cover that called James Harden King James. We've seen everything, and I absolutely, as a gambler, love the adversity coming to Cleveland right now. Love it, because I can't wait until tomorrow.
So what's that? You're going to get the LeBron James on DraftKings, right?
Yeah. Well, he did have a triple-double last night. But I am gonna and I can't. He's got a mismatch of a team coming into town that has 2 wins on the road all year.
By the way, just so you guys know, just to stop the big mystery, okay? They got Brooklyn coming in. So if the Cavs can't beat Brooklyn at home,
well,
and miss this awful losing streak that they have,
I can tell you this much though.
Don't.
Brooklyn plays them hard sometimes.
No, I would expect a full all-out. If you can, listen, scramble yourself up whatever money that anybody can find right now. Go get it and get ready for Friday because the Cavs are going to blow Brooklyn out the stadium or wherever they play basketball. Anyway, he's not the only one calling people out, as Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler have decided. And you know what, I talked about this at the beginning of the season, in the offseason a little bit. I talked about that I felt that the Bulls, that it could be a circus there.
Especially with Rondo.
Who by the way is on the bench now looking to get traded again.
Love
okay?
Yep.
And now Butler and Wade. Now here's my thing though. Butler and Wade are calling. Now here's the problem though with some of these guys that are calling out the other teammate members. It's like if I'm on the bench, right, and I'm making $500,000. All right. And I'm sitting looking at Dwayne Wade, making a few $1 million. I'm like, yo, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, hey, by the way, listen, I got my baby's mom's calling me on the phone right now looking for a check. I got somebody bothering me meanwhile, you only here calling me out when you got billions, Gabrielle Union running up in here, dropping off Grey Poupon to you, and you screaming at me about playing hoop.
Right on. I understand that. But you still have to win basketball games.
No, you do still have to win basketball games. And I don't know how the Bulls are prepared to respond to this, but it looks, like I said, it looks like trouble in paradise for them. Their season has been, it's been nasty, up and down. Their losses been bad. The Cavs just lost to Sacramento in overtime.
I'm aware.
That has got to be like the worst loss.
Especially when you're given 11.
No doubt, man. I mean, that's a bad loss.
Yep. Exactly.
Lose to the Pelicans on Monday night. Lost to the Spurs on Saturday. I mean, they're in the midst, they're free falling. But like I said, when you are free falling, the doctor does say here, I'm going to let you play the Brooklyn Nets and you can get it all together. In other news, let's get out of the NBA going to NCAA.
Before you move on, I've said it time and time again. Hoiberg at the helm, the coach of the Bulls, he's not a disciplinarian. He's not. And it's very, very tough for this guy to coach an NBA team. I think that he needs to go. They would have been way better with Thibodeau. Way better. You know it and I know it. Hoiberg is just not the guy. Period. He can't keep. He had amazing talent last year, just couldn't put it together.
But the Thibodeau thing is just like my thing with Mike Tomlin. At some point, you have to say, I like the coach. I like what he's capable of doing. And I know he's going to get another job somewhere else in the NBA. It's just not working with this organization. Okay. And that's my thing with Tomlin. I feel the same way about Mike Tomlin. I feel he's a good coach. I feel he can coach in the NFL, but his tenure there has been too. When you've been in a certain place so long, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. This is why you only have a president every 8 years, because in order to get in there and to get some effective change, if you want to do some different things, it's very hard if you keep the same person. And with Tomlin, the practices are run the same, the film sessions are run the same, everything's the same. And sometimes you need difference. And that's what I think that Chicago decided. They said, okay, we're going to let Rose go, we're going to let Thibodeau go, and let a couple other guys go because we want some change because this isn't working.
Okay.
There comes a point when you have to say that, and I think that's where the point that they were at, and that's where they went with. Now, here's the downside of it. You get what you got right now. You know what I'm saying?
No kidding.
But sometimes you have to crawl before you walk. So, unfortunately, when going out and getting Dwayne Wade means that you want to try to win now, okay? And that's a problem because if you're not prepared to deal with, 1 to 2 years of losing to get back to really winning, it's going to be a problem. And that team's built to win now, but that coaching staff may be going through growing pains. So they've got a lot of issues that they've got to figure out as far as I'm concerned.
Is not the guy.
In Chicago. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you.
He's not the guy. So what else you got up your sleeve, Dream?
What else do I have up my sleeve? Well, let's get into college basketballs. We had a couple surprises go down there. Kentucky falls to Tennessee. Marquette beats Villanova. And Duke loses to NC State. Duke, by the way, was given 16 points. It's a shame I didn't get to that portion in the show. But we had to get out of there on Monday, and I did see that line, and I was scratching my head. You guys know I've talked about Duke being a little bit overrated for most of this season. I actually thought Duke was giving too many on Saturday when they played Miami. They ended up covering that spread by 2 points, even though they were down 11 at the half. So bad job by Miami giving up that loss and losing by that amount. But they play NC State on Monday and they got beat by NC State, and they were given 16 points. If you moneyline NC State, oh my God.
You're laughing.
You're laughing.
Was that in Duke?
That was, in Duke. Well, come on, given 16, you know it was in Duke.
No, man.
But the thing with Duke and NC State, huge rivalry. It's an in-state rivalry. So there's even though there's not, I shouldn't say as many fans, but there's a lot of fans from NC State that would attend that particular matchup. College basketball also, very interestingly, UCLA fell last night to USC. I did not see that coming. So good thing I wasn't on the air yesterday because I would have probably been all over UCLA in a bounce-back spot against USC. We know that UCLA lost to Arizona. I'm all over the Pac-12 basketball right now between UCLA, Arizona, USC, Arizona State, and also Utah, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I've been all over this Pac-12 because it's late night. So after everything settles down in my crib, I can get up, I can turn on some late night Pac-12 hoop, and it's somewhat entertaining. So we will get into that a little bit later. Some more news I want to talk about. Dude, Oscar De La Hoya.
Yes.
Apparently, he's got addiction problems going on, and I didn't know this. I was not aware of this, and some of you guys, I don't know if you know who Oscar De La Hoya is. I mean, if you're a boxing fan, you should, but one of the greats, damn good fighter, but apparently he's been dealing with addiction issues from drugs to alcohol. Got caught. They think he's being suspected of DUI. I don't think they've formally charged him yet, but he was taken into custody and is looking to get a DUI. He's been checked into clinics a couple of times, apparently missed a couple of big fights based on his drinking issues and checking into rehab and all that. So very interesting thing to know because, this is one of the reasons why I say, make the most of each and every day. And this is why, as bad as all of our problems seem, and trust me, I'm right there right now with problems, especially going through what I'm going through with life. It's one of my little life talks with you guys. You're looking at a guy who's got money, who's a great athlete, and also he's kind of an attractive dude. You look at Oscar De La Hoya, you probably think this dude's got everything. He's got the world by the, cojones. Yep. And outside of having everything, dude's got problems just like the rest of us. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, how much money you have, what the gifts that you've been blessed with. Things can come for all of us. So always keep your head up and try to make the most of each and every day because, bad times can come for all of us. And we hope that he gets through this and gets the help that he needs and can survive and overcome because that just stinks.
That really sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It really sucks. But you never know. I mean, you see this with a lot of athletes out in their dream. It's like, when they have the money and it's just, you have a lot of money coming in and maybe you have some investments where you have even more coming in. So you tend, and maybe they're going through, the little bit of being depressed about being past their prime and all that. That goes on too.
Well,
so
go ahead. No, go ahead.
And then they start partying a little bit. They're like, whatever. I might as well go, be with some young girls or, be out on a Tuesday night drinking. And all of a sudden, maybe the drinking cures their depression for a minute. And then they just keep going and going. Tuesday becomes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now you're down to Monday again. And you just start the whole package over again, Dream. So I've seen it time and time again with professional athletes and former athletes.
Well, I think the issue for professional athletes is that there's a depression. And there's a depression due to the lack of competitiveness with you're never going to be as competitive as a retired professional athlete as you were as an athlete, and especially one of a standout athlete in their prime. Trying to find that same competitive, when this guy was in his prime, you're looking for fights. You're going to fight another athlete. You have to train. There's all the dynamics that go into that. Then the behind the scenes, you're negotiating money. You're negotiating contracts. Then you're coming up with formulating a game plan for a fight. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that physically and mentally.
Yep.
I don't think you're ever challenged in that way once you get out of that ring. And the same falls for football players, basketball players, and have you. And I think it's a huge mental adjustment for these guys to try to figure out how they can get challenged again in life like they were challenged in their prime. And it leads to alcoholism, depression, addiction problems, whatever have you. So I just think it's one of the small vices that comes when you're a great athlete and you finally have to walk away from your sport.
Yeah, it sucks. And you know what? Everybody goes through it. Once you get older, I mean, you think about some of the stuff you did when you were younger, and you're like, oh, man, if I could only have those days back. Can you imagine when you're in the spotlight in front of millions of people doing what you do best, or what you used to do best?
I've always said that I think that one of the things that will bother me, if I was an actor, to see yourself age on screen, that's got to be the worst. To me, it's got to be the worst. And then, like if certain guys, for example, I don't know if you've seen Stallone lately. Forget Stallone. Let me go to Dolph Lundgren. There's a couple guys, and even Mickey Rourke. You look at their faces now. It's like, dude, by the way, you need to stop doing movies. Because you look scary right now. Have you seen these guys' faces?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, that's gotta be, that's gotta be one of the worst things, because you look back at your stuff in your prime and you're like, wow, I was just really handsome or whatever. And then now, you've been playing with plastic surgery, which is evident. Mm-hmm. And it's quite evident that human plastic surgery cannot match what God has been able to do, because especially with the fellas, I don't know if they go overboard or what happens, but your face can look a mess. That being said, whoever Dick Clark messed with was the guy.
Yeah, that was the guy, right? Dick Clark looked the same forever.
Dick Clark looked the same forever.
Him and there's definitely a handful of people out there that just don't age at all.
Sure.
So I mean, hey, I guess it's just like having a good diet and doing all this, and
probably all those other drugs that some of these guys were involved with definitely did not help. Let's get back to the sports. There's been some grumbling out of the Steeler camp.
Yep.
Roethlisberger talking about he's going to retire. Stop.
Really? He wants to retire?
Vince not retire. Look, they just want attention now. Guys, go away. You messed up the whole Pittsburgh. You messed up the playoff game. I don't know what that was all about, but you messed it up. I mean, you had your chance. You guys did all that running at the end of the season, and you were nowhere near as exhausted as Green Bay was. I don't know what happened to them, but it was a mess, which is why I think, like I said, coaching staff kind of got to go. Don't really like what the coaching staff did at the end. It's all coming out, we stayed in the zone. Yeah, you stayed in the zone. Everybody knows you stayed in the zone defense. I think you stayed in the zone defense because Tomlin didn't think his guys, he didn't want to leave his corners out on the edges by themselves in space.
Yep.
But my thing is, you lost anyway, so why not change it?
Yeah.
The outcome was a loss, but I think I heard the misconception at the half when he says, well, we're only down one score. Now we scored the touchdown. It's like, dude, come on, really? Is that what you saw? Because that's not what the rest of us saw. The rest of us saw you getting peppered and thought that the peppering would continue in the second half and only get worse. But, there's been some grumbling out of the Pittsburgh camp, so I wouldn't make anything of it. I just think they're just a little bit agitated about their loss. In the NHL, the San Jose Sharks gang, okay, look, I am patting myself on the back. Every year I find a team, okay, in hockey that is able to and there's nothing like a late night team neither, because it allows you to mess up all day long and get bailed out at the end of the night. The San Jose Sharks are that team.
They're your charm team?
Getting it done. They're doing their thing. It's the charm team, barring any injuries. This team and that Shark Tank is a problem right now.
Well,
so let's keep an eye on it.
They were a problem last year, especially.
But they didn't come on last year heavy until the end of the season. They kind of treaded water for the majority of the season, came on heavy at the end. This year, they're right out of the gate just getting it done. Winning the games that they're supposed to be winning and not playing around, and also winning it in impressive fashion. They just keep on rolling. So let's keep that in mind.
All right, Dream. And you have any more NHL? I just want to talk, when you're done with the NHL, about the line movements in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did want to recap the line in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry I moved out of the NFL into NHL as well, as I want to keep the flow of the show moving on pretty expeditiously. The only thing I do want to talk about is also keep an eye on the Canadians. The Canadians are doing their thing as well in the NHL. I don't love the Caps, but I see that the Caps are winning, so I got an eye on them. When they go up against the weak teams, I look at them and can get on their bandwagon a little bit. The Devils are still a dusty team. Keep it in the dusty category. Even though they got on their little win streak, they seem to be back to losing to good teams. I'm going to start adding, I believe, the Philadelphia Flyers to my Dusty list and Colorado Avalanche. So we got 3 Dusty teams that we can pick on. And when they're playing against the powerhouses, they just look to get annihilated.
Gotcha. Yeah, you've been pretty good with the hockey. I got to give it to you.
No doubt, the hockey's been it's been very solid for me this season. Thank God. As we hit Monday night, we hit the 3-team parlay.
Nice. Fantastic. Cool deal, Dream. Well, I want to talk real quick about the line for the Super Bowl being the New England Patriots with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, everywhere you look, you're seeing 3s. However, there has been some bumps of 3.5s. And what happens here, Dream, is, I look at a bunch of sites where they have these, where they show you the dates and the times of line movements and stuff like that. Now, the money line's moving a little bit, but when it goes to 3.5 in places, it quickly goes right back down to 3. I'm talking within a couple of hours. So probably what ends up happening is once those 3.5s come on the board, you're probably getting some Atlanta money, and then it goes back down to 3.
Man, I just can't believe that people are that involved betting this early on the Super Bowl.
So, yeah, there was one book, for instance, 11:10 a.m., it jumped to New England minus 3.5, and then by 2:17, which is 3 hours later, it went right back down to 3.
I believe the book just plays the game.
You think so?
I think they just, because I just dude, based on, come on,
They want to balance the money.
No, I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying based on knowing how people gamble, right now, the gamblers are gambling. They're like, all right, we'll get to the Super Bowl next Sunday.
Yeah, right.
There's bad. I'm not betting on the Super Bowl, right? Cats don't have that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Patience?
Patience. Or, control. They don't have that. Gamblers, the main problem with gamblers is they don't have control. That's why it's gambling.
Yeah, well, you know what?
If they had control, they wouldn't be gamblers.
Oh, man,
Let me ask you a question. Have you been on the Super Bowl yet?
I have not been on the Super Bowl yet.
There you go.
I'm thinking that this line's going to jump a touch. So I'm going to lock my Patriots minus 2.5, I think. I think that's where I'm going to go with it, to be honest with you. But we'll have that conversation when we do our big Super Bowl show, Dream.
Got a big Super Bowl show we are preparing for, trying to get some guests out there. We are going to do something for the Super Bowl and make it really fun. I'm also preparing a bunch of prop stats together. We got some preparation in the work, gang, so the Super Bowl will be fun. And I plan on having a rocking show with that. I think it'll be good.
Absolutely. And Dream, you know what? Before we get into what's going down tonight, guys, we will be off the map Saturday and Sunday. You're going to be on your own with the Pro Bowl. Just so
no, you're not. I'm going to save you right now for being on your own with the Pro Bowl. Don't play it.
Don't play it, right?
Don't play it.
You're going to be on your own with the Pro Bowl. And the reason why is because I'm taking my son to San Antonio, Texas, as we are going to see the WWE Royal Rumble. And Dream, I've been reading a lot about this Royal Rumble, and there's a lot of wagering going down with it.
Oh,
tons.
All right.
Tons. And the odds-on favorites right now are The Undertaker plus 250, Goldberg plus 250, and Braun Strowman plus 350. If I had to guess right now...
I can't.
What's that?
I can't right now with this.
If I had to guess on who's going to be the winner of the Royal Rumble, I could tell you this much. I don't think it's going to be Lesnar or Goldberg, because I think they're going to eliminate each other, or something's going to happen, and they're going to end up having a rematch at WrestleMania, so I think they're out. I honestly think that it's either going to be The Undertaker or this guy named Finn Balor, who had a shoulder injury. He's been out for 8 months, and you know how that goes. When they come back from this big injury, they push him to death. So I think those are going to be my 2 choices moving forward here.
Thank you, Hat. And we go from presidential talk to wrestling talk, letting you know the biggest show in the world knows no boundaries.
Hey, we have wrestling fans that listen to us, Dream.
Knows no boundaries. Listen, let's talk about the Australian Open. Let me just touch on tennis.
So you want to go to tennis?
No doubt. Since we're all over the place, let's get at least because we got an interesting storyline that I do want to discuss. Venus is playing Serena in the finals at the Australian Open, and this is one of the things that I hate okay? Because the reality of the situation is they're sisters.
Yep.
Okay? And I know that people are going to say they're professionals, and I do agree with that too. They're sisters, but Serena has had a lot more success than Venus.
Right.
Okay? It wouldn't kill Serena to let Venus win. And yeah, I did just say that. I'm sorry, because that is the truth and the reality of the situation, and I keep it real here. I'm not saying she's going to do that, but I'm just going to say, what would it... Think about this for a minute. Would it kill Serena to lose the Australian Open and let her sister win, who her sister is probably on her way into retirement?
And she's like murdered her sister.
And she's... Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, gang, listen. I'm not saying it's fixed. Don't start that up. I'm not saying that Serena's gonna quit. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is the reality of the situation is Venus Williams and Serena Williams have both have a ton of success in their careers. Serena's had more success than Venus. Venus is definitely on her way out, and it wouldn't kill her sister if she just messed up on a couple little shots or, missed a couple little volleys or whatever you call it.
That would make it fixed.
That's what I know it would, but I'm just saying it would. Not really. Just she didn't just go after the ball with the intensity that she could go after it. Because sometimes you just don't have it. I would not. So that's why I'm saying I hate this match personally. I honestly think if you like underdogs, you like taking underdogs, you probably should give Venus a shot.
Give her a look. Well, I don't have lines up yet on that.
And Sir Mata must agree with me because he wrote to me, Serena goes down tonight. Be careful what you play with her. So he must be thinking right along what I'm thinking. I just think, dude, I just think, listen, if it was me and my brother playing, I'd probably let him win.
Okay.
That's just, it's not professional. I'm competitive as the next person, but after all of that winning, because it's not really, it's too much winning. They've been playing tennis forever, so it's just got a different feel for them. I'm sorry, it just does, and this is the truth of the matter. Over on the men's side, Federer's waiting for the winner of the Nadal match, and gotta tell you, I don't see neither one of them guys in the Nadal match beating Fed right now. I think Fed's going to win. He knew, he started smelling blood in the water when Djokovic got out of there. I think Fed wins that, so you can keep that in mind for Fed. If you want to take Federer and Venus in some kind of parlay situation, it might.
There you go. Well, Fed right now is minus 102. Just saying. All right, Dream. So what do you got up your sleeve for this evening? I'm waiting to put my money on tomorrow night, but I'd like to see if you got anything tonight.
Yeah, Irish Wish Watch. You say if she wins tomorrow, she has the most wins in Open history. All right, let me just take you a little bit back in history. That she had to win, I believe, the U.S. Open for some kind of most slam wins ever, and she completely fell apart to not even her sister in that game and got us. Remember that?
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
All right, so, and here's the deal. She loses this one, she can win the next one and still get that record. So I don't think it's relevant in this case. And Venus has always played pretty well on the play.
Yep.
But thank you for your opinion, Irish Witch Watch. Hey, we'll see what comes to fruition. I mean, we're going to watch it, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't, personally, I'm not betting on Serena.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Where are you at tonight, Dream? I see a lot of hockey.
There is not a lot. Guys, there's not a lot going on tonight. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot for you, and anything I give you would be forced plays. First of all, the NBA does have a lot of games going on, but I don't like a lot of the NBA spots this evening. I think I love NBA spots tomorrow, just like Kat has already mentioned. So let's not even get involved in the NBA this evening. Let's take it easy, and let's move over into college basketball.
What you got?
All right. Okay. You got the lines pulled up, Hat?
Can in 1 second here, brother. All right, I got them up. What do you need?
What do you got for Arizona, Washington State?
Oh, your Arizona team. You love them. You absolutely love them. They are minus 22.5.
Yeah. That's a problem because that's a lot of points. But Arizona is very, very good. We've talked about their size. Washington State is coming in against this David versus Goliath in every single way, except David doesn't have the slingshot or the rock in this case. Washington State gets annihilated, but do not give 22.5. We will keep it moving from that game. I'm interested next in the Utah-Oregon game.
Utah and Oregon. Wow, you're staying in the pack here, huh?
Because I've been more. I know a little bit more about the pack than I know about the other.
Utah Utes are -2.5 tonight.
All right, Utah Utes are -2.5, and I do like the Utah Utes in this situation. I think Utah has the ability to beat this Oregon team. It's a tough matchup because Oregon's good, all right? But they're coming into Utah's house. In Utah, it's very tough to play there. It's a tough venue to play at. Utah is 14-5 and 5-2 in the pack. Now, Oregon's 7-0 in the pack, so they've had some success against other pack teams. Utah, they've got the forward. I think it's Kuzma, I'm going to pronounce it. He's their leading scorer, 15.3 points a game. Put it into him. The gameplay's been excellent. I think the coaching staff is going to come up with a blueprint to give Oregon a few fits. I don't think Oregon's going to have a lot of success in their post game. I think Utah will be able to defend the paint in the down low very well. I see Utah being able to control the boards. It being exciting at home. Utah wins this game.
Okay. Utah beating Oregon. Beating the Ducks tonight. And the under-over in that game is 143.5, just so you guys know.
Tough ball, tough game, but I do have Utah winning this game. And like I said, don't go crazy. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon that looks a lot better. Don't go crazy, but I do like Utah. We also have North Carolina playing Virginia Tech. Do you have a spread for that game?
North Carolina versus Va Tech. Let me pull it up. I got North Carolina -14.5.
Okay, it's an interesting matchup. ACC matchup, sort of a slight little bit of a. It's not of the likes of Duke, North Carolina as far as the rivalry is concerned, but it's sort of a little bit of matchup. I like North Carolina in this spot tonight. I think North Carolina bounces. I think they're going to be able to kind of what they want to do with Virginia Tech. They should be able to get the ball. Transition should be the key for North Carolina. I don't think Virginia Tech's transition defense is that good. I don't think Virginia Tech will be able to outboard North Carolina. I think North Carolina's big men will be able to have their way down low. I expect Jackson to have a big day. I think North Carolina wins this game in front of their faithful. If you can do anything to manipulate the points, it probably works better in your favor. But I see North Carolina winning by 10 or more and probably covering the 14 points. I like North Carolina in this spot.
All right. Sounds good, brother. So that's a little college basketball wrap-up from your boy, The Dream.
I'm not finished.
Where else you at?
One more. Xavier Cincy.
Xavier Cincy, pulling it up right now. Let me see. Where are you? Cincinnati -5.5 with an under-over of 136.5.
Xavier has been not that good of a road team. Only one road win under their belt. They're 1-4 on the road. Yes, they are ranked number 24. They're hitting you with the 3-guard game. I don't know what it is with Xavier in their guard game, but Xavier comes in with the 3-guard game that they use. However, Cincinnati has a potent guard game as well. Jacob Evans, very good talent. As far as the guard play is concerned, Cincinnati is at home. They're 11-0 in their house. Dang. If you put this game with North Carolina, I think that's the way to go. I like Cincinnati in this spot. I like Cincinnati to beat Xavier. I would pair Cincinnati probably with North Carolina. Maybe you go money line par. Maybe you go just tease it. Get 6 points in the deal. Just get Cincinnati if they got to win it, and you're going to knock that 14 down to, 8 or so for North Carolina. I don't think you could go wrong there. I think that's a beautiful play. I like Cincinnati tonight. And I also think Cincinnati can cover this 5.5 point spread, but I would buy it down to 4.
Okay.
And that's what I got. That's what I got for college hoop.
Sounds awesome. Cool deal, man. So you have any hockey, NBA, anything, Dream?
Over in the hockey, I got one spot, and I don't love the hockey tonight either, but I got one spot I'm going to run at you guys because I know we like dabbling with the hockey a little bit. So here we're going to go into this hockey. We got some comments. Let me see what I got for a comment here. Somebody's talking to me. Nope. I thought I had a comment. Sorry, I don't. It was just somebody agreeing with what I'm saying, so I think that works. My one hockey play is Stay away from the Sharks tonight. Edmonton's a good team. Stay away from the Sharks tonight. Edmonton's a good team. Let's watch. I do think the Sharks can beat Edmonton, but I'm not getting involved in it. So stay away from the Sharks tonight. The game I like this evening is, the Caps. Caps are playing the Devils. And I like picking on the Devils. Caps are playing the Devils. It's a 7 o'clock start. I like the Capitals. I don't love it. I mean, this is a simple, good team versus bad team. Capitals are really good. Devils are really bad. I like the Capitals. I wouldn't go crazy. If you want to do a multi-sport teaser and it's supposed to get North Carolina involved, I do think you could take a shot with the Capitals, and Cincinnati moneyline par should pay very nicely. That's what I got for hockey.
Who's got more plays tonight, the Dream or Dr. Dan?
No, I'm giving you some suggestions, Hat. And then Hat wants you guys to pick up Crosby and put him in your DraftKings lineup tonight. That's what
No, take the Undertaker to win the Royal Rumble, Dream.
They don't have the Undertaker on DraftKings. They got the fantasy wrestling on
Fantasy
DraftKings.
wrestling. I gotta check that out. I gotta see if they have that on there, Dream.
Irish Wishwatch is contributed to the show, and good to see you out there, player, and always appreciate any information you guys want to throw at me. As far as my thoughts on Tiger Woods, I gotta back away with Tiger. Going through a divorce, which I am going through, devastates you. And I don't know that you can bounce back. And being a professional athlete and doing that, I don't know that it can bounce back, but there's definitely a correlation with all the stuff that went down with Tiger and his gameplay on the field. I know he's talked about injuries and all that and the other. I don't think it's injuries, gang. I think it's the mental capacity of that whole process, and I don't think he's healed from it quite yet. And until he gets out there and wins, I just don't believe that he's bounced back. So I'm going to just stop, kick back, and watch. But I wouldn't go near Tiger. Sorry.
Sounds good, my man. So we're getting ready for the weekend, Dream. Getting ready for Friday. So
I have some plays for you this weekend because there's that. I do like the spot bet college basketball, and teams who lose and get a couple consecutive losses, they want to bounce back really quick and get a win under their belt. So we'll look for UCLA to bounce back. They got 2 losses in a row. They got to be screaming. Also, Kentucky, we're going to look for them to bounce back. They're coming off of that loss to Marquette. Villanova, Villanova lost to Marquette. Kentucky lost to Tennessee. So we'll look for Kentucky to bounce back. We'll look for Villanova to bounce back. So before we end the show, I'll prepare that for you guys this evening. Have something ready for you tomorrow. I will give you something to go into the weekend with as far as my thoughts are concerned. If you care enough about them, I'll give you a little bit something to ride into the weekend that will help you out.
There you go, brother.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Want to thank everybody who's retweeted the show. Joseph Del Rosario, KMVU, Terrence Mack, we got Immaculate out there. Dr. Dizzle's in the house, Irvin. Cash Action Bets, thank you for your support. Vegas Girl 92661. JC's in the house, Terry Bouchard. Send a big shout out to G Money, my boy, also B-Mac, getting involved out there. And definitely Irish Wristwatch, who has been involved in this program as well today. Laura Ainsworth, as well as out there retweeting, and a few others. Gang, tonight's kind of a mez night. I mean, I know you guys are probably going to gamble, and if you are, I gave you a couple of tidbits. Me, personally, I doubt if I'm even going to get involved, even though I do like Cincinnati. I do like the Cincinnati game. I got to be honest with you. I like the Cincinnati spot. So it's probably going to get played even on my end. The other stuff, grain of salt kind of thing to work with. But Utah, should something happen to mess up the night, you'll be scrambling, and Utah is a late night play, so keep that in mind. We do have some stuff tomorrow. I do like tomorrow, and you know how we work on Fridays. So I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, baby. Right on, guys. So happy Friday Eve to you. Let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to grab the world by the balls. Let's get ready for the Pro Bowl. No, just playing. Don't bet the Pro Bowl this weekend. If you want to, bet the over. Whatever it is, Dream, just bet the over because it's like a touch football game. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Rise and grind. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.